my friends. Welcome to the International Forum Orders of Love for Success in Life. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest, Esperanza Cevallos. Esperanza has been practicing alternative method of healing, such as Silva method and Theta healing, since 2000. Later, she fell in love with family constellations work. Now she is a Family Constellations facilitator who is offering her workshops and individual sessions in Great Britain and Latin America. Esperanza speaks Spanish, Portuguese, French, and English. Hi, Esperanza. So good to see you today.
Hi, Viktoria. So nice to see you again, at least for this media. Yes, and thank you for your invitation to be part of your network.
Of course, we met many years ago in Bad Reichenhall during the Hallinger camp. And I remember we had a great conversation about family constellations and how orders of love uh, can help people in their life. And today, many years later, I would like us to continue this conversation and share what we know about that with our audience. Is that okay with you?
Yes, of course. No, I am more than happy to share this with you. And I could say, when I feel in love with family constellation, is well, I started from the beginning when they started. Is after this path of looking for some things to do in my life. Of course, I did the method of Silva, Theta healing, but there's still some things was missing. So I keep reading books and searching for something else. And suddenly people started talking about family constellation. And then I hear the voice, and then they say, "Oh la la, this is like stars. I don't want to know." To me, like it was more like a scientific. And the other person started doing the same. And somebody else started to say, "You must know family constellation because this is something you you can't believe it. The way you can feel it, what other people are feeling." And they say no. Because I read in a book, I say when somebody is telling you 3 times the same thing, that means it's a message for you. For you. And so I went for my search, I called my friend, and I asked her if she knew somebody here in London to do family constellation. She said yes. The same week I went to the lady, she was doing family constellation, and then I really like it. I fell in love with her work. And she told me, said, "Why don't you go to Verhellinger camp? It's in May 2013. Okay, oh, let's go." And then I prepared everything. And then, of course, we arrived there in Bad Reichenhall to the seminar. And suddenly, you see Bert Hellinger coming with his wife. He illuminated the whole room. And that day, the topic was the mutter, the mother. And then I listened that, and then he said like the mother is everything. If you are disconnected from your mother, is everything is disconnected. You are disconnected from life, and honor your mother. Bow before her. I was very touched for that, and then I said, "Here is where I want to be. I can honor my mother the whole time. I can bow before her." And then you feel like it's something you were missing because my mother passed away years ago. And then I said, "Oh, if I knew this, of course I would have done more, showing my love to her even more." And so since that day, I get connected, and I started since 2013 reading his books, going deeper and deeper, and seminars over seminars. And then I became a facilitator. I love this job, this work with family constellation, because you feel the healing in people's soul. Because family constellation It's healing your soul. So when, as he said, like you healing the inner, the inside, everything outside start to change it. So this is my experience with family constellation.
Beautiful. Uh, what I hear that people come to you not because they want to be family constellators, or not just because they want to be family constellators. People probably looking for help, and this knowledge and new experience help them to make some inner changes that cause something to happen in their life, or improve the quality of their life.
Yes, yes, yes. Most of them they coming just for the personal reason, not because they want to be a facilitator. So far, no one of my people is have saying that, and the healing they have reached through this work is amazing. Uh, as Hellinger said, family constellation is an open ways to new things, new possibilities. So you're healing everything. They understand, and now they are more like a deeper in going to those healing, the connections with the mother and the father, and with life, and honor ancestors also, and they are more open to this, because some believer is like, my mother is my mother, that's it, the people are not interested, but now they are more open to these new ways of seeing life and get healing. Is I can mention is so many cases, because family constellation is very wide. You can heal anything. You can heal work. You can heal your own issues. You can heal like the when you have problem with the inheritance. You can heal the house. You can heal everything. So it's just it's like to understand it, to know those tools to use it for your daily life. It's very simple. It's like starting with ourselves, accepting ourselves as we are, accepting people as they are, accepting situations as they are, and then is everything starts flowing. But the thing is, we need to commit to that, and of course to learn how to deal, how to do this, and then is the work of us as facilitator.
I assume that people who know nothing about family constellations and they listen to what you just said would be very curious. What is that healing with house, healing with inheritance? Uh, it sounds probably weird for those who know nothing about this type of work. Uh, do you explain it a little bit or give an example with house inheritance? What is that about?
Yes, okay. Let's start for the basic thing. Is starting with ourselves and be very grateful and thanks to your father and your mother, because thank you to them you are here in this world to do your missions in life. Once we are connected with them, you are connected with life. And then if another issues happen, let's say somebody has inheriting issues, with constellation you can deal with that, because when the inheritance is blocked, that means we have left outside, we are excluded, is basically is a woman who has helped the men to do this fortune for the inheritance. I have experience with that. Is I have a lady with, she has, I think the inheritance was for more than 20 years, and then it was at the beginning of the constellation. Of course, I was reading lots of books of healing. I say I want to become like a facilitator for business for, And then I was reading more those success for business, the according Hellinger. And he said, I told her, like in the constellation, we said sometimes the inheritance block is because we are we are leaving somebody outside. We are excluding somebody. So bring that lady back. Sometimes you don't know. You just to the fact that you honor that person, you give a place in your heart to that person, things started changing. If she remembers, she said, she has an issue. It was with her auntie, and she did what she has to do. Of course, the auntie was already passed away, and make the story short, she did what honored the auntie. She did a lot of going to her grave, put the flowers, to cleaning. She did a lot of things like that, and to say thank you for being my auntie. I honor you. You have a place in my heart. Suddenly, in a year, everything started like flowing. And she said to say she was very thankful for that work. She believed it was the movement we did with this work of family constellation. And now everything is already sorted. That is one of those examples. For example, for the daily life, is that help you when you are connected with your parents. You are kind of, you feel a strength inside. You don't feel you are alone. You don't feel this loneliness. You feel like the world belongs to you. You are empowering yourself when you started practicing those simple examples. Do you want me to talk about the house?
Yes, yes, please tell us,
Yes.
share this
Yes.
story.
Also the animals. By the way, I did a constellation also with the animals also. This, when if we have time, we talk about that. The house represents a home. Is your could be like your sanctuary. It's like is where is the uh, you have peace in some way. When it's order in your house, you have order in your life. And an example, for example, I did the constellation with my friend. She wanted to make a movement in her house to break the walls and everything like that. I said to her, "Did you ask the house?" She said, "What?" And then, yes, you should ask the house. And then she really believed in what I said. And she said, if the house said no to me, I am scared to ask.
Really.
And then we did the constellation. She's feeling the house. And then, the movement, the person do the, like, she's the house in front of her, talking to the house to say, look, this is the one I am going to do. She promised, she committed with the house. She's going to look after the house. She's going to give it good care, and she wants to make it beautiful. If the house allow her to do, you are allowed me to do this. And then she started, like, you started feeling in your body the expansion, joy. Something started moving. She started doing this, rebuilding the house, reconstructions, and she found even the very best material, good prices, very low prices. And the people coming to do the work, the builder, she said they were amazing. They was like they was doing their own house with a lot of love. She was so happy with those changes she did. I believe it. She wasn't doing like that just to take like material things is not important. Uh, the the outcome would have been different. I think she's so happy with this. It's like she feel like everything is in their own place. She's really happy now in her house in the way how the things went.
Great example. Thank you for sharing. What I hear, if we connect to whatever it is, everything has energy, right? And if we connect to this house, trees, animals, or anything, what we can imagine, with respect, gratitude, we establish this connection, that outcome is getting uh, absolutely amazing in a good way.
Yes, yes. For example, sometimes people has like pet in the house, but just for having. When sometimes, well, is they love their pets, but they don't know how to communicate. In one of my friends, she has a cat. The cat was given some things like the cat didn't. The cat wasn't not comfortable. So we did the constellation for the cat. The person who did who do the like represented the cat, she said he was feeling suffocated because my friend didn't allow the cat to go out. And that day, she opened the window, she let the cat. The cat was so happy. And then the cat coming to her, like a cuddling her, like a, saying thank you. She said now the cat, she feel like her cat now is free. He always come back to the house. Because she was kind of, I think, maybe worried about the cats will disappear. But no, the cats come back. But was the fact of having indoors kind of was suffocating the cat. She was surprised with those results with her cat. So it's a beautiful method. I always I said philosophy. This family constellation. It's very simple. Well, look as simple when you practice, but it's kind of committed ourselves to really to go deep and to be happy also. Is that is I think the teaching of this to find our joy in ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is an art, like art and philosophy of life, and if people come in touch with that, then they can perceive world wider and see connections that they were not able to see before, and also make new decisions, better decisions in their life, just because they have wider perspective for that, right?
Yes, yes. And to me, this method of family constellation, uh, the most important for me through my experience is the everybody has the right to belong. Always I check in my thought or is who are left behind. Sometimes even your thoughts, you don't want to think that way, or you don't want to have that thought. But in family constellation, we welcome everything and allow to exist. And some people, friends say, no, but if I allow that to be in me, it doesn't make sense. It won't go. It's different when you allow, let's say, emotions, thought to exist inside of you. Healing it told us sometimes those emotions, those feelings, not doesn't belong to you. Somebody need to be seen. It coming to us through those feelings, through those thoughts, sometimes through pain or illness in our body. When we are allowed that to exist in our heart, in our soul, they vanish inside of us, and he said they becoming our angels, our protectors. When we don't reject it, is sometimes we rejected people. Always I am very careful of this, is who I am left out, rejecting somebody, because unconsciously also we do that. But I try to be more aware of that. Is the person is could be somebody I don't like, but it's not my right to criticize or not allow the person to be the way she or he is. So it's like to accept everybody as they are. Is for me that was very deep understanding, and to connect it, to integrate it inside of me. This work.
Yes, and for many people who are listening us right now, it would be something that they will reject immediately because if, let's say, someone is traumatized or abused by parents or someone, they just not able to accept this person, and our in our mind this person has to be excluded, and just we don't want to know about this person because he or she brought so much pain. What would you say those people?
Yes. Well, there they need to go for a more like a deep consultation, I could say, to healing this uh, trauma in some time that happened. The person who hurt you, that person, what we said, this person is entangled and they don't see the other person. They see what is inside of their body, but it's not themselves. Because the person, the soul is pure and we are pure love. When those things happen, people hurt us, we have been like abused, of course we acknowledge that pain. And when the persons want to heal that, it harmonizes with the we call the perpetrator. Is some things amazing happen to the person, some deep changes happen. Is also the I think the tough part of this work is acknowledge the pain, acknowledge what you have suffered. But with this work we don't go through the trauma. It's just to acknowledge it is the memories are you having in your body, and then healing that is the outcome is really really amazing. Of course is also for the person to be open and really willing to heal, because it's a factor. I love this book of Hellinger, acknowledge it, what it is. It's like this is a factor that happened to me, I acknowledge it. And then you reconcile you with this pain, whatever happened to you. And then it's like you feel like it's a huge weight has gone from your life.
I I wanted to ask you. I assume it might be a question from the audience. When we say include someone, or accept someone, or reconcile someone, I immediately can see someone would say, no way, I'm not going to invite this person for the dinner. And I think there is some sort of misunderstanding. What does it mean, include someone or take back in someone's heart? Is that
Yes.
pretty much the same as invitation for dinner, or invite for in-house and communicate very close, or this is something else?
Yes. Thank you for your question. I love this question. Okay. What happened is all of us we have issues with people. Sometimes deep issues. It's like you can't stand that person. Is that the person has hurt you so badly, you just don't think of that person, you get so angry. And now I can tell about my own experience. This is what I love this work. I have somebody who really annoy me. She came to accuse me for no reason. She involved in a situation which doesn't nothing to do with her. And then I was so furious, also I have my temper. I am not the saint, I have my temper. And then in one of the seminar I went, of course this was in Madrid, the exercise to come like, have a person in front of you. You bring your emotions, your feeling, whatever you are feeling inside. And then, of course, I didn't know what was next. And so I get my anger inside, my feeling, my body was so like tense. And then she said, bow before that person. I say, thank you for the way she is. Of course, I want to get rid of those emotions. For me, the most important is I don't want to feel it. Even I was trying not feeling that, or like or connected with my heart, nothing worked. Okay, nothing worked. But the really for me was the big healing when I really bow. You know, you go to your knees, you bow before that person, and then since that day, now we are kind of the best friends.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the invitation to your house is not because I am. Some people said no, because I want to show I am good. No, it doesn't work that way. This is going to bring more issues, more problem. Is you need to be in peace with that person. Doesn't matter. Maybe you won't see that person anymore, but inside of you, you don't have those anger. You don't have those emotions against the other person. That is the healing. And then when you heal in that deep level, you even this coming even further, because in that person you are healing also what I understood. You're healing memories, ancestors' memories. That is why when they say when somebody coming to hurt you, say thank you, because she's coming just to teach you some things or for you to heal something. But we need to take really this serious. It's okay if you can't do it. It's okay. It's okay. Take your time, but don't pretend. This will be my invitation. Don't pretend. You can invite that person for the dinner. That's okay. It's not the moment. I am not ready for that. Acknowledge you are not ready. You still having that anger or that emotions. Another way you can do it is just to the fact you acknowledge that anger. This is just another way of healing. You embrace that anger because the anger belongs to you, or that whatever the emotions is. When you start practicing that way, also okay, this just to the fact to think that person, I am really furious, I feel this, that, and just to acknowledge something change. Or maybe that person disappear forever for your life, or maybe becoming your best friend, as my as my example.
Thank you for this example. It's amazing. And what I hear that it's not about some actions uh, that everyone can see. It's more about inner work. It's about how I can accept this person inwardly in myself. If this is something that I can process and let go. And if I can do that, I don't have to do any um, visible actions in material world. Something happened, and it will bring peace within. Is that correct?
Yes, 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 yes. Is exactly. Even you don't. The fact that you think of that person, you get angry automatically. Okay, and then is our work. Okay, I am angry. That is okay, and embrace that anger. Sometimes what I do is like where this anger is male or female. Suddenly coming with a connection is a male. Okay, so this anger is coming from that part of my life. Could be ancestor, whatever it is. We don't put a face. Just started acknowledge it, and then sometimes bow before that person, and you feel peace. It really is a deep peace. And then you look for that emotions again, it's gone. It's completely gone. When you do the exercise like you do, look in the person, you don't have any feeling. Trust me, I have done lot of exercise like that for friends because everybody has issues, and suddenly it's like the outcome is amazing because they are understanding. It's nothing to do with the other person. It's to do with us, with ourselves. The other person is there for us to healing. And then I before I didn't believe it, that the other person is my mirror. The other person is what is hitting on me, which I don't see it. I can't see it. So when we say thank you for showing what I can see, what is inside of me, suddenly the those bad let's say bad emotion, but there are emotions, disappear. It really disappear from your body. You feel they have gone, because when you do it again, you think of that person, you don't have any more those emotions. It's really, really a beautiful way of healing. It's the most important is you don't heal the person. Forget about the person. You are healing yourself. You are healing your system. You are healing the world within us.
Wow. I assume that's what you teach during your workshops. Would you like to share a little bit about your workshops and your sessions, how to enroll in your workshop?
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, what I do here in London before the pandemic
Mhm.
was we went to the place, and we do the practice like the exercise, like somebody do the mother, and you are in front of your mother, or you feel your mother inside of you, or you are your own mother, to have those feelings. You are feeling what your mother was feeling when she was 5, and then we started from those exercise, and a lot of emotions come out. And then this is a beautiful way for me to start the workshop, because they start understanding whatever happened in their life, the mother or father was carrying what have learned, what has bring from their own baggage, from their own family system. And when they do like I am my mother, I am feeling what my mother was feeling when she was 5 years old, and then we started like when she was older, when she has me. And since that day, they stop like whatever is criticizing or against the mom is just and then feel like, and then it's coming the guilt. They feel guilty the way they were feeling against their parents. This is an example. For example, we do also, the people also worry about work, about money. Also, we do this because Hellinger also taught us money has the mother's face. I love that also. So we do this. Of course, for the money, you go beyond that. Is sometimes we carry those patterns, whatever happened in our family, or what we hear from our own family, or with contracts. Let's say the belief we have, money is not for me because we are poor. We should be that way. So it's like to get rid of those beliefs we carry with us. Okay, maybe we hear from our parents, we hear from the grandparents. So they feel like a kind of free, and also connected with the career. For example, I have a friend which she wanted to be hairdresser, but she was so scared. She was I think the this how you say, she was afraid, like not confident on her. If we do some movement, feeling her like the hairdresser is honoring whatever happened in the past, and then now I am here, and then go through ahead. Go. We do those exercise walking through your career and feeling what you are feeling, and then go until she can reach there and feeling what is that in that place. And suddenly is like gradually she's coming like a more confident. And she called me today, she has already 2 clients. So in a day, which is a success. For she didn't have anybody. She's doing a very good job as a hairdresser. By the way, she cut my hair because I want to show her. I took the risk. I said, do my hair.
Very good job.
But she said, I wasn't confident, but I could see on her the connection, and the way she was touching my hair. She was really connected. I really was very, very happy trusting her. So it's so many how can I say, experience that can share with you, my dear, but I think the time here is a
I
little bit
truly
short.
appreciate all those examples because I believe it clarifies people what we're doing or what family constellations offers to people. So right now you're offering online workshops.
Oh yes, okay. Since the pandemic start, of course, at the beginning of the pandemic, the people was so worried about dying. Okay,
Yeah.
and then I started offering through Zoom the
Mhm.
workshop for free, and then I said, well, because again, it comes the order of help. Somebody has to be like an way the return, and then I started charging, and then suddenly it coming like an opening for Latin America. I had lots of people from, well, Latino, Spanish speaker, is for all over Latin America, and it's, I feel in some way, this COVID has bring us together with really with deep love. Even I don't know those person physically, but we are so connected, so connected, and then they really trust my work, which is making me really like very grateful to them. And this thing started flowing. I am really doing sometimes once or twice per month, Friday or Saturday, via a workshop in online via Zoom. Yes, sometimes I do in English. Is just in English, and I am not 100% confident yet.
Okay, probably you should connect to English language.
I am now.
Oh, well, and now I would like to thank you very much for your time, for your insightful examples, because it just kind of unfold some opportunities. I believe it is so for many people it's more clearly now. And I hope that we will continue our conversation in the nearest future. I'm going to invite you for next interview. uh, so have a wonderful day and see you soon.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you for this invitation. And just I would like to share with your audience is some things. Life is short, life is simple. Allow yourself to be happy. Doesn't matter what situation you are facing now, just to the factor you say, no matter what is happening today to me, I allow myself to be happy. Be happy, connected with your heart, with your deep love for everybody. Also, deep love to you and your audience. And thank you so much for your invitation.
Thank you. Bye bye.